Hello everyone, welcome to Azhar Noah Podcast, where we keep things real. Today our subject is about growing up without parental guidance. Okay, today we have my friend Duncan, everyday people. He wants to share with you about his life experience, and the subject matter is about growing up without parental guidance. So let me introduce you to Duncan then.
Hello everybody. My name is Duncan. I'm Asa's friend, very good friend.
Yeah. We attend a course together.
Yep.
So tell me, Duncan, tell me about your childhood. What was it like?
Growing up, my childhood, to me, it's honestly, to me, at that point in time when I was young, I didn't know that my childhood was very different from others. Because my dad passed away when I was 2 years old.
2 years old. So you have no recollection of him at all?
Zero. My only memory of him, it's a man carrying me, but that's about it. That's my only memory of him.
Okay.
Yeah, and I remembered prior to his death, my mom shared with me, he bought me a tricycle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I rode that tricycle until I was 5 years old, I think.
Wow.
That's the only legacy that he has left for me.
Was it a sudden death or?
He passed away because of a heart attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did it impact your mom?
Oh yes, very much so. Unfortunately, when my dad passed away, 1 week later, her mom passed away as well. So in that short period of time, two of the most important people to my mom passed away, and my mom was not ready to handle that. So she went down this spiral, and she went into this state of mind that she didn't know what it was until many years later it was diagnosed that she has an inferiority complex.
Okay. And
it was just the beginning, because from there, then other clinical diagnoses came about, which is...
Was she a nervous wreck or something like that?
Yes.
As well?
She had clinically diagnosed depression, anxiety, and...
Because of these two deaths?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because it was understandable, because I think at that point in time she didn't have any other support system, nor does she know how to ask for support. So being in her mind at that point in time, it really wrecked her.
And so in her condition, looking after one son, it must have been very difficult.
Yeah, it was. I don't think I'm the easiest baby to take care of as well.
So were you an active baby or were you...
hyperactive.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So, wow, this must have been difficult. So what was growing up years like? What was, obviously we're talking about Duncan's experience going through life without having this guidance. So really like to know how he managed the struggles he went through. So as a child, before primary school, what was it like?
So my earliest memory is when I was in kindergarten. It was at that moment when I noticed that when I had my classmates, when they leave school, they have two people, one female and one male, which is the mom and dad, right?
Okay.
So I asked my friend, who is that guy? And then he said, that's my dad. And that was I was shocked, because that was the first time in my life that I knew the existence of a dad.
Okay.
I think then when I came back and asked my mom, I think that's when she said, oh no, I have to explain what happened, why is there no guy in the house. Yeah, so that's when I realized the existence of a dad. And my mom she told me the truth, like my dad passed away when I was 2, and then what happened. Right. Growing up, I was too young to know how is it different from my child compared to others. To me, what I only noticed was that I am very afraid of my mom getting angry. And the way that she gets angry, it can come from very random, very small things, like I forgot to close the door, or I accidentally bump on the coffee and it spilled. And
unexpected.
Sudden. Yeah, then she'll fly into a rage.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a child, you couldn't understand this? Was it something you had to handle, or did you hide, or how did you handle it?
I think as a child, my automatic response is just to follow whatever she said. But as I grew older, I developed other mechanisms to handle it. At some point, it could be things like running away from her. When she caned me, I go and take the cane and hide it.
Oh,
that type of
okay, that's an idea.
Yep. And then sometimes she'll switch to hangers, and I take the hanger and then throw it away.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at that point in time, it was really a fight or flight mode. I did whatever I could to survive.
You tried to run away?
Yeah, of course.
From home? What age were you?
I did not run away from home, but my mom did.
Oh.
So what happened was I don't know what I did. Honestly, to me, at first I really thought it was my fault at the time. There were multiple times that she tried running away from home. So what she did was she just took the keys and then just tried to leave lah. Then me as a child, of course, I would be very scared. I don't have a mom, right? I remembered the first time it happened, I was 8 years old. So, of course, I begged, I hugged her leg, and then I begged her not to go, and I screamed very loudly. I still remembered. To me, it was really a traumatizing experience because out the door, out the door, all the neighbors were watching. Oh. Yeah, and then I saw them.
It's a way of she's threatening you in a way.
She's threatening to run away.
I'm going to move out.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so it happened throughout my childhood. It happened about 2 or 3 times. It was only until when I went into secondary school that it stopped, because I learned that there is child protective services.
Oh, really? At that age?
Yeah, at 13, because somehow I got access to internet.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, then at that point she realized that she couldn't use it as a tool to threaten me to behave anymore.
Okay. Yeah. So she was using as you're right. Yeah. You say, is it playing a victim?
To me, yeah, it is a victim, but to me it all stemmed from a place of self-worth. Throughout her life, she has always been bullied. And she did not learn to make a stand for herself. I remembered those little bits and pieces of the stories that she told me. Like, for example, when she was in college, people would bully her, force her to eat the scraps of whatever meal they were having. Yeah, there was this kind of bits and pieces and then because of whatever happened, the only person that she turned to was God. So God became a huge thing in her life. To me, my own personal opinion, it became a little bit misguided, because to her, being in suffering, being poor, it is like a gateway to heaven. Because by suffering on earth, just like Jesus Christ, when you suffer on earth, you get blessings in heaven. Yeah. So that's how I lived.
How did you handle it? I mean, having to go through this every time, and afraid that you lose your mom. How did you handle personally?
When I was in primary school, how I handled it was really to be obedient.
Just don't want to upset her.
Correct. I learned very early on that it's really about survival. And I wasn't popular at school. So being bullied at school is surviving, going home is surviving. So in
primary school you bullied?
In primary school I was bullied from halfway from primary 1 to primary 4 until at primary 5 I kind of cracked the code to be popular.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So in primary school I was bullied because in school kids, they have toys and knickknacks. So I never had any of that. So when you don't have any of that, you are not popular.
Okay. Did you come from poor family? Or?
Yeah, because after my dad passed away, my mom was a school teacher, a government school teacher, and they were severely underpaid. So So I remembered in primary school, she told me her income was roughly just about 2K plus a month. Which, imagine how difficult it is to survive with just 2K.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And did it make you a stronger person as a child, or
I guess
how did you feel? I mean, how do you feel when this constantly happened to you? Did you feel you wanna get away, or do you put a barrier ahead of you, or you try to forget these things?
my way of surviving was avoidance. Honestly speaking, it's really about avoiding. So I avoided confrontation. I avoided speaking to her as much as I can. If I can, I hide in my room. I play with my games, whatever.
Yeah. So where do you get the education from? You don't have a father. But how did you learn by yourself? What was it like in primary school?
You mean like formal education or?
No, I mean in primary school. What was it like growing up in primary school? Did you get any guidance from teachers, or you don't have a father?
I think I am really, really blessed. Like I naturally can absorb information quickly. So school lessons were not very difficult for me. But what I really noticed is that how much I learn is really dependent on the teacher. If I like the teacher, I would do whatever it takes to make the teacher happy. So I now growing up, now I know where it comes from. I think it came from a place of acceptance, wanting love, wanting acceptance from the teacher. Yeah. So the opposite is also true. I hated my Mandarin teacher. Therefore, just so you guys know, I came from a Chinese school and primary and secondary school. I was an independent school, but Mandarin is shit.
Really? Oh, okay.
My Mandarin is terrible.
So how was it? What was it like after Chinese school? Then secondary is Chinese school as well.
Independent school, yeah, Chinese independent school.
And the English came in when?
English, naturally I became good in the language is because my mom is an English teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's good.
So
did you speak Mandarin or English at home?
Mostly English. Yeah, but when my mom scolds me, she uses all sorts of language.
Okay,
Cantonese, Hakka, whatever.
Okay.
The expressions are colorful.
All right.
To say the least.
So what's the thing in primary school or secondary school that made an impact on you?
Negative or positive impact?
It doesn't matter. Negative.
Big ones, I guess. I'll share about the big ones that shaped my belief. I think that would be helpful.
Yeah.
The one I really remembered was there was this teacher who had sore throat.
Right.
So she
Primary or secondary?
That was in primary school. I was
Okay,
7
fine.
years old at the time.
Alright.
So she had sore throat. Then I had this classmate who taught me to say the word yapa, which means mute.
Mute.
Okay. Yeah. Then she said, "Hey, you say it out loud. Say it out loud."
So that's
then,
rude, is it?
Yeah, it's rude. It's rude.
Okay.
It's you're calling someone bisu.
Bisu. Okay.
Ah.
Right.
So then I stupidly said, "Oh, yapa," like that.
Okay.
And then the teacher heard lah.
Eh?
So the teacher was honestly quite cool about it. Of course, she was quite irritated, but she thought, "Oh, just a young kid."
All right.
Yeah. But then there is another kid who wanted the fame of telling on people.
Okay.
So she waited until my staff teacher, the homeroom teacher, which was the most garang one of all.
Okay. All right.
And she said, "Oh, I'm gonna tell on her." Then, because there was a period of time before the homeroom teacher came in, so I remembered praying to God, because I believed in God at the time. I remember praying to God, "Oh, please don't let her tell the teacher." And I remember praying throughout the entire school until the last class. Of course, it didn't have. Of course, my prayers weren't answered. I got told upon, and I had the worst caning of my life, because I remember I was bawling my eyes out, begging the teacher to stop.
Hand or?
Yeah, on the hand. It's like it's like this. The teacher was holding on. I was begging to stop. And she said no, and then she continued caning. Did
it hurt?
Of course it did. I was 7.
I don't know how hard.
I really don't remember how long it was.
At that time, caning was okay. It's allowed. It's legal.
Yeah, at that time, caning was. It happened quite a bit. It created two beliefs in me. So I'll explain what happened first.
Okay, yeah.
So being caned in school, then after that, I got round 2 at home. Okay. Why? Because the teacher called up my mom and told my mom what happened. And my mom, I remember that my mom didn't want to hear from my end what happened. So she just did round 2 on me lah. Yeah, so I guess subconsciously the belief came about where, I cannot depend on teachers nor my mom. I gotta survive by myself lah.
So did you feel that you learned a lesson from this?
It was a misguided lesson, but the lesson at that time is I had to depend on myself.
Did the caning impact you?
Of course.
Negatively or positively?
Negatively.
And what's the feeling?
It created a belief. It created this belief that I have to depend on myself. I cannot depend on my mom. Cannot depend on teachers. And at the same time, from then onward, I think caning became a very normal thing to me. It's like I got numb to the caning. So that's when, coming from a point of I want affection, I want love from the teachers, I totally went the opposite route. I became as naughty as I can be.
So you don't feel anything anymore?
Yeah, I don't feel anything
feeling
anymore.
for...
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, there is pain whenever I get caned very often after that. But then, of course, there is pain. But to me, it became a sign of strength. Like I can tahan this.
So, do you think a child should be caned or not in school?
Now, I really don't think they should be caned. Because you don't know what type of trauma it would cause to the kid.
So, even though you're naughty or whatever, you don't believe caning is good?
No. I have seen many of my friends' children, they grew up without being caned, and how they were taught is when they make a mistake, they got to learn to face the consequences instead of being punished.
So being punished, you might hate the world, you might hate everybody.
Correct.
And you might turn the other way.
Exactly.
Which is a negative.
Correct.
Even maybe children can turn to drugs and stuff like that, perhaps. You know?
Yeah.
So if they're not strong enough.
Exactly, because you don't know what goes in their head when the caning happened. Yeah.
So that impact your childhood, you feel?
It got me to have a very... throughout my primary school, I became very misguided. I thought, since you don't love me, let me go the opposite route. I'd be a rebel.
So you were a rebel?
Yeah, I was a rebel.
You bully people?
I don't bully people.
You were a gangster?
But I no. There are many variations of being a rebel.
I know.
So the way I rebel was to rebel whatever the teacher said. You ask me to do homework, I don't wanna.
But you could. I mean, you were bright student in school. You were good at mathematics, right?
I was good in most of the subjects except for Mandarin.
Okay. Strange.
Yeah, because I didn't like the teacher. And I'm Chinese.
So are you okay with Mandarin now? Or?
I can speak conversational Mandarin.
You can't write.
But I can barely write.
Oh, okay. All right. So I understand. So what's secondary school like before university?
For secondary school, because in primary 6 I cracked the code to be popular, right? So the code was to be as loud, as obnoxious as possible.
So you get the attention.
I get the attention.
And you want the attention.
And I want the attention because that's the only place that I could get it from. Not from school, not from the teachers, not from my mom.
That's kind of replacing love that you didn't have from your home.
Correct.
Yeah.
So because at that point I really didn't know what family love looked like. So the only way that I could receive love and appreciation was through that. Through being loud, obnoxious, the students all loved me. Yeah.
Okay.
So I took that formula to high school. Didn't work. Why? Because in high school, the same people like me come from all across the country, all across the state. Meaning, because when you move to secondary school, you have lots of kids coming in from all the new people from different primary schools, and everyone is competing for attention.
Oh my God!
Imagine you put a popular kids from different 15, 20 different schools together in one place.
So you compete with one another.
I was competing with one another, but of course I lost because I went to a fairly atas sikit punya sekolah lah. I got scholarship.
Oh, okay.
So how you got to fame was through things lor. That time PSP was very popular.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that type of things. And I don't have and I was really...
Did you get into fights in school?
I tried to, I lost.
Oh, okay. You were not big enough.
I was not big enough and I don't know how to fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So after that, I understand you were sent to another state or what?
So in high school I was bullied, so I turned a different strategy because remember my mind was all about survival, right? Whatever it takes to survive. Yeah. So my strategy was to keep to myself. All the recess I go to the library so that the kids cannot find me. Then once recess is done, then I go back to class and I read my books. Yeah.
I imagine I suppose somebody your age will be longing for affection and love. Do you get any of it? Maybe from your friends?
In In high school, no, not really. The only time that I really got affection and love was when in online. So I played a lot of online games. Maple Story.
Oh,
I don't know if you know this, Asa.
no, I don't know.
Yeah, Maple Story.
I know online dating.
Online dating. When you were dating, I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
No, when you were married, I was a kid.
Okay.
Yeah, so that time I played online games because
Right.
online game, no one knows who I am. There is no,
Yeah, there's no communication.
there's no
or-
judgment.
No, yeah.
No, online games you can talk to each other.
Oh,
but
you
it's
can.
like-
Oh, okay.
So
So
I made many friends online, but it's an online life, it's not real life,
virtual friend.
virtual friends.
So didn't you have real friends that you became close in high school?
Nope. Zero.
Why? You said you're a popular guy. People
Well,
like
that was in primary school. Secondary school, no.
No.
Remember I told you we were all competing to
Right,
be
right.
popular?
So, I mean,
I went to the bottom of the food chain.
okay.
Yeah.
Don't tell me one or two friends you don't have in school.
The only one I had is my neighbor, because we were in the same bus sekolah, and we became friends because I annoyed him for years because I
Yeah,
wanted a
maybe
friend.
you didn't open up to be friends. Maybe
No, I
you
wanted
shut
to.
yourself. You know, you lack love, and you're so cold. You don't want to mix with people. You don't want to show your affection. Do you show your affection to people? Or you've already become made a wall in front of you that you don't want to interact with people?
I think at some point, of course, that happened.
Yeah.
I think at some point I let go of the belief that I can make friends. At some point, I adopted the belief that I'm okay being myself, just being with myself. Yeah.
Yeah, just to say, I can relate to you, Duncan, because I lost my father when I was 7 years old. So he died in front of me in a hospital, coughed out blood onto me, and he died. So that impacted me so much that I used to cry every night because I remember him. You don't. So I couldn't understand what death is. So I went through life kind of being alone. My mom went through like a nervous wreck. We cannot understand why she's always, like you say, get angry and hit out on us, cane and all that. So it's quite difficult. So I can relate to what you're saying. But I wasn't rascal in school. I was a nice guy. So I somehow, I don't know, I made friends. So different people are different. And for you, you wanted to be strong for yourself because from such a young age already, you're trying to build some inner strength for you to fight, to survive, I suppose. And you said you went to Kuching, is it? At one time?
When I was 18, I went to Sarawak, Miri. Miri.
All right.
The honest to God answer why I left was because I really just want to get out of the house as fast as I can. Yeah. The moment I finished SPM,
At this point, I'm just curious to know, how do you feel about your mom?
Really, really honest.
Honest, yeah. Let's be honest about
I
it.
hated my mom.
I can understand.
Very much so. At that point, to me, it's like I want to just leave this old life behind. When I go to a different state, no one knows me. I wanted to restart my life as fast as I can. So I spent a big part of my adulthood just avoiding my past. Meaning I don't want to go back home.
A new
to my
chapter
mom.
for you, yeah.
Sorry, a new
New chapter for you,
correct.
and you want to forget. The past was so horrible and you didn't enjoy it. There was no love, no affection. But lack of love still continued, right?
Of course, because I didn't know what love looked like at that point in time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your mom never showed you any affection? At all?
Of course she did. She loved me. I know that she loves me.
You know she loves you.
I know that she
But you
loves
didn't
me.
cannot take the...
Her type of affection is like Asian parents. So how she showed love was to feed me, to pay for my school fees. I did not register that as loved because she used that to threaten me a lot. Like for example, paying for my school fees. It's very easy. The moment I say some talk back, okay. So if I talk back or something, to me I'm just asking. I'm really questioning ma. And then to her, like you don't talk back to me. You remember who paid for your school fees?
Yeah.
So
We're brought up that way, especially Asian, not to talk back, respect the elders.
Yeah.
So it kind of carried on to adult.
Yeah.
And you're always scared to speak up your mind. Is that something that you have a trouble dealing with?
When I was younger, in primary and secondary, I was very scared to speak up to my mom. But because I had created a new life, a new being in Sarawak, when I came back, I talked back a lot. Rebelled a lot. Because I guess that's my natural swing.
Right. But in your work and all that, do you speak up your mind, or?
I do, very much so.
You're very That's very unusual. Normally people become so follow, like you say, they follow what the parents say. They're scared to speak up.
Yeah.
Do you see some of your friends like that? Because of that, they just refuse to speak up. They're scared of confrontation.
Many. Here's the difference, because
Yeah.
now that
you're
you spoke
kind
about
of
it,
different to others, because most people would, most young adults that we deal with now, they refuse to speak up. They're scared. They just don't. They grew up not being taught not to speak their mind because they don't want the confrontation from their parents. So what do you think?
Now that you shared about that, it reminded me of another friend of mine. He's about in the same situation as me.
Okay.
His is the mom passed away, and the dad is a pastor.
All right.
So also same thing, but the difference being he is very submissive. He really follow whatever the dad.
That's his character.
That is character.
Yeah.
So I guess for me, the reason why I was so different was because my character naturally, I am curious. I rebel. I want to know things. You cannot force me to do something. I have a huge problem with authorities. Meaning, if you just force me to do something without me agreeing to it or understanding it, I would say, like, F off, I don't care.
So I think every child's different.
Yeah.
So like your friend, he's submissive and he doesn't speak out. And the way he's been taught growing up is not to challenge.
Correct.
So when they grow up, they just keep quiet and sit at the back of the class and not even... That's not good, right? Do you feel speaking up for yourself is better?
Well, I believe so. I genuinely believe so, because what's the
right.
alternative, right?
But you do see many people, Asian kids today, they're not like Western kids. They speak out their mind. Is that something you notice?
I think because it's not just our culture, like a lot of the way Asians are being brought up. It's always about respecting someone who is older than you.
Yeah.
It's always that age gap.
Yeah, I think respect is we respect, but you can speak out also your opinion and at the same time respect the others,
But
right?
that's not in the culture. Respect to
By
them.
right,
By right, correct.
By
You're
right,
right.
you can. A lot of kids or young adults don't realize that you can speak out your mind.
Exactly.
At the same time, respect your parents. There's two different things.
Correct.
So they do it out of being brought up not to challenge. That is wrong. I think they should speak up their mind. But at the same time, of course, you don't be rude to your adult, your parents or somebody older than you. I mean, we all taught from young to respect the elders. That goes without saying. But they go overboard by not even challenging their opinion. No, they don't even want to speak up their mind. So they kind of lost. They don't learn anything. So I think it's a very important point to realize that you have to speak your mind. Otherwise, you're walking around aimlessly.
I think this is, honestly, to me, it's more of an important point to the parents rather than the children, because the children don't know any better.
Okay.
I think it's even more important that the parents understand that respect does not mean total obedience. Respect does not mean your kids must follow everything you say. Respect, it could sound like, Mom, I don't agree. It could sound like this: Mom, I don't agree with what you did, or I don't agree with what you said. But that's still being respectful, but I am speaking my mind about it.
Right.
So what I am getting, especially from my mom, is that don't question. Yeah. So it became, okay, now you do whatever you want.
Yeah. But you are different. You challenge.
Yep.
You're different the opposite way. But those submissive ones will carry on their life, not even asking any questions. I think you and I know some people that we've come across.
Correct.
They refuse to speak up. And they kind of shut themselves away. They don't want confrontation. But I think that's not good, because you don't learn anything. You don't question. You don't ask questions. I grew up in England since 12. So I had no parents to look out for me. So I had to survive. And the way I survived, I said, if I don't ask questions, I'll be left behind. I have no one to teach me. So the best thing is, any stranger, any Tom, Dick and Harry, I just kept asking questions. If I get lost, I just ask. I became more friendly, so that I'm approachable and I get by and survive by finding ways, by being friends, have more friends, and just keep asking questions. It can be irritating, like have too many questions, but it's survival. Yeah, I think it's important to note that we, in order to excel in life, you have to ask. What do you think?
Of course. I think it's because a lot of these type of skills, like you mentioned, is a very important social skill.
All right.
It's not something that's being taught. That's not something that's being passed down. My best guess, because I'm not a parent, my best guess is parents do that is because it could be they don't know any better, or it could be, I just want to take care of my kid, just make sure it's that boy or that girl is alive. Therefore,
overly protective, maybe?
It could be one, but it could be just coming from a place of, I'm already very busy with my work, don't disturb me. I just want, as long as you just grow up, that's fine. Yeah, so then a lot of these social skills became as an afterthought. Yeah, like how, if you notice, only people who have a little bit more money send their kids to piano classes, music classes, pottery, whatever it is. For people who do not have that privilege, it's really just about survival. It's really just about putting food on the table. As long as I am able to feed my kid, it's good enough.
Okay. So what's the message you want to give those without parents? I mean, what you went through alone. Of course, your opinion is different to others, but it's just sharing, and so that people out there can learn. Yeah, what's the impact that that you feel will help people, those without parental guidance?
I think a big message, if I were able to tell myself that same message, I think it would be, you are the author of your life. You get to create who you want to become. You are not defined by your upbringing. You get to choose who you want to be, where you want to go, how beautiful your life can become. It's all in your hands. Whatever is the past, it serves as a learning, but don't let that define you. Yeah.
So that's very interesting, and I think it's a very important point. You don't want to shut yourself in a shell and in a dark hole. I think making a stand for yourself and move on with your life, despite not having parents, I think you can make a change in this world. Have more friends, perhaps.
Yep.
So I understand you took many courses, right?
Yep.
For self-development.
Yep.
Somebody like you, without guidance, you find ways to survive by yourself by attending many self-development courses.
Yep.
Is that something you've been doing?
Yes, very much so. I think the reason why I wanted to attend self-development courses was because it came from a place of, I want my life to be better, there must be something more to life, and I had to look outwards, because if what I'm doing works, I wouldn't be here, right?
Right.
So it's really about looking for opportunities, looking for what different perspectives out there. I think, for example, meeting you, it got me to see a lot of different perspectives when it comes to life. Life is not just whatever I thought it was.
So, experience, right?
Experience,
Go out and
yeah.
experience, meet more
Correct.
people,
Correct.
go out, travel. And just curious to know, what about were there racism in school? Did you have when you grew up? Was there a difference between Indian, Malay, and Chinese? Is that something sensitive? I don't know.
To me, I think I'm lucky. It's not such a huge issue. The honest to God truth is because my school is predominantly meant Chinese.
Yeah, of course, I understand that. So there was no.
There was not much of a racism.
Okay, but when you went to Sarawak and all these places, when you went out to work, was there to you?
Honestly, in my life, I think I'm really lucky. There's not much. There's not much. So even in my work, just so happened that people are a little bit more well educated.
Right.
Therefore, this doesn't pose as big of an issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you started work, what was it like? How did your childhood impact you as an adult today? Do you feel your growing up years? A lot of people, the study has said that you are what you were when you were young. Things that affected you. Do you feel it's the same for you?
I had a lot of burden that I had to learn to let go through the courses that we joined together. How it impacted me was it became how my childhood was. It became a beautiful victim story for me to give me an excuse on why I am not succeeding in whatever I wanted to do. Then there was a huge period in my life where because of my mom lah, because of my upbringing lah, it became a very good excuse to be who I am at that point in time. So it was through these courses that I was able to let go of that burden, then coming from a place of I got to be responsible for my life, I got to take charge, let me create what I want.
So that childhood made you what you are today. Is that being a stronger person and not depend on people, and you speak your mind and how to survive in this world?
But there's two sides of the coin. Two sides of the coin. So the good side is that it made me a lot more independent. I don't need other people's help, so to speak. I am very okay with going at things alone. So those are the good side lah, being independent, being
You've
strong,
always been
whatnot.
alone, I suppose, all this time. Do you feel that you've always put a wall in front of you to protect your inner, your feelings?
So that is the other side of the coin, no?
Yeah.
So the other side of the coin, whatever that's good here, the other side, I have this wall, I have this very, very strong image of who I want to portray myself to be. I wanted to be this very cool guy. I can handle everything. I'm very knowledgeable and very smart. So that was my image. That was how I wanted to portray myself to the world. And on the other side of it is it impacted a lot when it comes to my self-worth, when it comes to my relationship. So self-worth meaning I define my self-worth at that time. I define my self-worth by my results in life. If I have good results, if I make a lot of money, therefore I'm worthy. But when I don't succeed in my career, I don't succeed in my finances, in my health, then my self-esteem take a hit. Because that's how
results is very important to you.
Yeah.
It's everything to you.
Yeah. Because that's how I define who I am.
Did you have relationship? Did you find love as you get older?
That's another thing that impacted romantic relationships and also relationship between friends. So
did you have many relationships?
Yes. Many past relationships. I won't tell the number.
Oh my God! Why? Because your expectation for affection is high, or
yes. Growing up not having that level of affection, how I wanted affection was
The
through
perfect way you want.
Yeah.
You wanted the perfect love,
Yeah.
which doesn't exist.
Which I don't even know how that love looks like.
Okay, fine.
I don't even know how that love looked like.
Wow, man.
So when I got into relationships,
Yeah.
I subconsciously realized that I wanted a mom, not a relationship.
So all your girlfriend was like your mom.
Yeah, I wanted to be very manja.
So older women better for you lah.
Oh yes, I love.
Forget we cut that.
Yeah, I love strong indie.
Ignore that part. Okay.
Strong independent women were my type lah.
Oh,
Strong.
you knew very well what kind of women you want.
Yep.
Okay.
Because I think subconsciously I wanted. I wanted them.
What
to
kind
be
of
able to
woman you
protect
want
me.
really?
I like women who are matured, emotionally matured. I like them.
You don't like kiddie style and
No,
girly.
I don't like the girly cute type. I don't like. I like women like those strong women lah. Like
strong women.
Strong women like they have.
bully you, okay?
Okay. Honestly, I'm okay.
Okay. So to you ladies out there, you want a weak man and bully him?
I think because I really like women who are independent and know what they want.
Okay.
They go for what they want.
Do you support them?
Yeah, of course. I would do everything in my power to support them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in your relationship, who is the one that take a lead?
The girl, obviously.
Do you compromise or she takes the lead and you stay home and do the cooking and?
I don't think I can be the one that stay home do the cooking unless she makes like a lot of money. But I think because naturally I'm ambitious by nature.
Yeah,
so
true. So I can see that. Yeah.
I cannot just stay home. But to me, it's like I want this woman to be able to just take care of herself, such that in our relationship, we are together emotionally.
But you're already like that. So you like a woman similar to you.
Yes.
Because you're already strong and you keep to yourself, you're independent, so you can't expect the other woman to be different. You want her to be the same like you. Do you think that's a reason?
For me, that's true. For other guys, it could be the total opposite. They want a submissive girl.
Okay, all right.
They want a nice girl.
Who follow what they do and all that.
Exactly.
So for you, it's different.
For me, I want someone who's equal.
Who tell you what to do. Sit, stand.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you like the whip as well?
Yes.
Cut. Okay.
Because I think to me, it's important to me because I felt like we are on equal terms.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like to be the one that keep on telling the girl what to do. Yeah.
Okay, Duncan, we've come to the end. I always ask a question to my guests. After what you've gone through, what impact you want to have in the world? What message you want to give to people out there, the viewers, a life learning? That's the whole purpose of this podcast, that we learn from ordinary people, real people experiencing their life. So, what's that message you want to give?
Recently, it's through there's this course that I joined that helped me be very clear on what's my vision in the world.
Self-awareness course in development. Okay, fine.
And how it got me to realize is that my vision for the world is to love outrageously and to bring joy to the world. And that is how I can impact the world in my way.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
So as you can see, a very interesting person. I invited him because I know he had to survive alone without parents. An interesting story that I want you all to share with you all, a life learning. And for those, my message to you, for those with parents, I really feel don't take your parents for granted. You know, people like Duncan and myself, we don't have father, and it was a struggle. It was a struggle to uphill climb to be what we are today. So those with parents, don't take them for granted. Give them love, and this is the time, before they're still alive. This is the time you love them and care for them. One question I forgot to ask: Do you love your mother?
I do. I think I do.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You don't hate her?
No. The reason why I thought this way was because if I have the ability to hate her, that must mean I have a very strong emotional connection with her.
Did you go back home and hug her?
Nope.
Hey, hello.
That is my challenge. So, one of my group of friends, they have this challenge with me. They want on November this year, we'll be going back to KK together, and they will come visit my mom.
Oh, you're in KK?
With me.
She's in KK?
Yeah, she's in KK.
Oh, okay. Good. I think hopefully after so many years, I'm sure it'll be good bonding between mother and son. So that's it for today.
All right.
And keep it real from Azanoa.